Alarms are screaming through the ship before I even open my eyes. I roll out of my bunk and hit the floor hard, and my hands are already shaking because I know that sound. That is not a system glitch. That is a proximity alarm, and it only screams like that when something huge is sitting right outside our hull. My name is Ellie Marsh, and 3 minutes ago I was asleep. Now I am running down a metal corridor in my socks, and the whole ship is shaking under my feet like it wants to fall apart before anyone else gets the chance to destroy it. I burst onto the deck, and Captain Nora Bishop is already standing at the front window, arms crossed, not moving, just staring. I follow her eyes, and my stomach drops straight through the floor. 5 warships, massive, dark, covered in weapons, floating in space right in front of us, like a wall of iron and hate. And next to them, our ship looks like a toy someone forgot to throw away. We are a cargo hauler. We carry rock and metal across quiet trade routes. We are not a warship. We do not have real weapons. We have 2 small turrets that were bolted on after a pirate scare last year. And that is it. That is our entire defense against 5 warships, built by an empire that has ruled this part of space for 600 years. They found us, says Daniel Cole, our pilot, and his voice cracks on the last word. He is 24 years old and has never flown anything bigger than a supply run. His hands are trembling on the controls. A voice comes through our speakers, cold and amused, translated into words that still somehow drip with mockery. Human vessel, you have entered Valkyrie space. Power down your engines and prepare to be boarded, or we will end your pathetic existence in less time than it took you to build that rusted machine. I feel every hair on my arms stand up. Nora does not even blink. This is Captain Nora Bishop, of the cargo ship Silver Course. We are not a threat to you. We made a navigation error. We are leaving your space right now. The voice laughs. It actually laughs, a wet, ugly sound that fills the whole bridge. You will not leave. You will kneel. Humans are nothing here. You are less than nothing. You are an insect that wandered too close to a fire. I look at Daniel. I look at Nora. Nobody on this bridge is armed enough to fight what is sitting outside our window, and everybody knows it. Then Nora turns to me, and her eyes are sharp and fast, like she just found something the enemy has not thought of yet. Ellie, get to engineering. Now. Tell me the truth about our reactor. I do not wait for a second order. I sprint through the ship, past crew members frozen at their stations, and slide into the engineering bay where alarms are already blinking red across every panel. My hands move faster than my brain, checking numbers, checking pressure, checking the one thing I have been worried about for 2 days. Our reactor has a cracked coolant line. I found it during my last inspection and never got the chance to fix it, because we ran out of spare parts 3 stops ago. Right now, that crack means our reactor is running far past its safe limit, and it is getting hotter every second. I open the comm channel with hands that will not stop shaking. Captain, our reactor is critical. The coolant line is cracked. If this keeps building, it is going to vent, and vent hard. There is a pause, and then Nora asks the question I did not expect. Vent which way? I blink at the panel like it just spoke a different language. What? If it blows, Ellie, does it blow out evenly, or does it blow out in one direction? I look at the schematics glowing in front of me. The cracked line runs along one side of the ship, straight toward the rear thruster housing. If the pressure builds and releases through that weak point, instead of failing evenly across the hull, it will not be a quiet explosion. It will be a violent, focused burst of heat and force, shooting out in a single direction, like a torch made of everything our engine has left. It blows out the back, I say slowly, understanding hitting me like cold water, aimed wherever the ship is pointed. Nora's voice comes back calm, almost too calm for someone staring down 5 warships. Ellie, I need 90 seconds. Can you give them to me? I look at the pressure climbing on the screen. 90 seconds feels impossible, and also like the only number that matters right now. I can try, I say, but someone needs to point this ship exactly where you want that burst to go, or we are just cooking ourselves for nothing. Daniel is already turning us, Nora says. Hold the line, Ellie. I grab tools with hands that refuse to stay steady. I do not fix the crack. There is no time to fix it. Instead, I pull the safety shunt that would normally shut the whole reactor down. The one thing every manual tells you never to touch during an emergency, because I need the pressure to keep building instead of stopping. On the bridge, Daniel swings the ship in a slow, deliberate turn, angling our broken tail section directly at the lead warship's engine core. The enemy fleet does not react at first. Why would they? We are an insect. Insects do not turn and face a fire. The Valkyrie commander's voice returns, thick with impatience. Your engines are unstable. Power down immediately, or we will fire. Nora's answer is short. Give us a second. We are still deciding. I count the pressure numbers rising in front of me, each one louder in my head than the alarms around me. 60, 70, 80% past safe limit. My whole body wants to run, but my hands stay locked on the controls because if I move too early, we lose everything, and if I move too late, I do not need to worry about anything ever again. Ellie, Nora says through the comm, on my mark. I close my eyes for 1/2 second. I think about my mother, about the kitchen table back home, about how strange it is that the last thing I might ever do is break a machine on purpose. Mark, Nora says. I pull the final release. The reactor does not fail quietly. It roars, a deep, furious sound that shakes the whole ship, and every warning light turns solid red at once. I throw myself behind the radiation shielding, just as the pressure escapes, screaming out through the rear of the ship, in one massive, focused burst of heat and force, exactly where Daniel pointed us. The burst tears across open space and slams directly into the lead warship's engine section. I do not see it happen, but I feel the shudder through our hull, and I hear Daniel shout from the bridge that their entire side has gone dark. For 3 long seconds, nothing happens. No one fires, no one speaks. It is like the whole fleet forgot how to breathe. Then the Valkyrie commander's voice returns, and this time, there is no laughter in it at all. Your vessel has damaged Dominion property. Nora's voice comes back steady, almost bored, like she deals with ancient empires every single day. We told you we made a mistake. We are leaving now. If your fleet has a problem with that, you can explain to your superiors why 5 warships could not handle 1 broken engine. There is silence on their end. A long, heavy silence that stretches out longer than any of us expect. Then, slowly, without another word, the warships begin to pull back, repositioning into a formation that looks less like an attack and more like a retreat nobody wants to admit to. I sit there behind the shielding, my whole body shaking, staring at numbers that are finally, slowly falling back towards something survivable. My hands do not stop trembling for a long time. Back on the bridge, Daniel is laughing and crying at the same time, and Nora finally allows herself to breathe out, long and slow, like she has been holding that breath since the alarms first went off. Good work, Ellie, she says over the comm, and her voice sounds tired in a way I have never heard from her before. Get some rest. You earned it. I do not rest right away. I sit in engineering for a long time, listening to the ship hum quietly around me, safe now, steady now, and I think about how close we came to being nothing more than a story other ships tell each other as a warning. Word of what happened travels fast. Within a day, other crews are asking about the ship that stared down 5 warships and walked away in one piece. Nobody calls it a victory exactly. We did not defeat an empire. We survived one, using nothing but broken parts and a plan nobody would ever teach in a real academy. But I keep thinking about that commander's laugh, the one that filled our bridge with so much certainty, so much mockery, right before it went completely silent. I think that silence is the part they will remember. Not the warships, not the empire, just the silence, and the small, broken ship that refused to kneel.